Michael Jordan is widely regarded as the greatest basketball player to have ever graced an NBA court. However, Jordan's obsessive nature and turbulent career have given rise to a slew of rumors about him, ranging from large-scale conspiracy theories to individual anecdotes that reveal the type of person he truly was. Watch to see how Michael Jordan admits he cheated during games.
I never gave up. Every time we were close, I knew we were going to do it. I knew it.
The man and the legend. Michael Jordan is, in fact, the highest paid athlete in history. He made over $1 billion during his career. Not only is he the first NBA player to own a basketball club, but he is also the most successful. Jordan was also a major sports promoter in the 1980s and 1990s. Several generations of children have grown up with the rosy image of an idolized Jordan. It has now been revealed that the greatest athlete was also a fantastic reveler. There are claims that Jordan cheated during games, and although that hasn't been proven yet, many other instances of Jordan cheating have come out, and the man himself didn't bother to deny them. Let's dive in.
In your life, it's a problem. So I agree, there are different sizes of problem. Like, it's not a big problem because he wasn't selling his TV, he wasn't losing endorsements, but it was a problem that I love that he had.
He was caught cheating at cards against the mother of a teammate. This story comes from Chuck Klosterman. There's a well-known story about Michael Jordan paying a visit to North Carolina teammate Buzz Peterson's home. Jordan attempted to cheat while playing a casual game of cards with Peterson's mother while the elderly lady was using the restroom. This is frequently cited as an example of what made Jordan so great. He would do anything to win, regardless of the circumstances. An airport con against his teammates. An often-told story demonstrates that he needed to win even in the most mundane situations. According to Bill Simmons, the Bulls were waiting for their luggage in Portland when Jordan slapped $100 on the conveyor belt and said, "I bet you my bags come out first." 9 teammates eagerly accepted the wager, capitalizing on the astronomically low odds. Jordan's bags indeed came first. As he collected everyone's money, he laughed with delight. What none of them knew, and presumably what MJ never told them, was that he had bribed a baggage handler to assist him and put his baggage first.
Who says basketball is his passion, but golf is his addiction? So you all play together?
No. Not anymore.
We don't have that much time in a day.
No.
He refuses to play with me anymore because I'm so bad.
He used a $20,000 earring bribe to win. During the 1993 Bulls-Sun Finals, Jordan subdued his opponent Charles Barkley without fighting in a classic Art of War move. According to Box's unverified statements, the former Dream Team buddies went golfing on a day off during the championship series when the Bulls were up 2-1. Jordan gave Barkley a $20,000 diamond earring at some point that day to appease Sir Charles. It could be hearsay, but Bach claims Jordan told him he won't get in my way the rest of the series. What does $20,000 mean to me? Charles considers us to be great friends. Jordan went on to score 55 points in the 4th game, which the Bulls won in 6.
Watching you and Michael on the court, it looked like 2 best friends out there just crushing everybody. What was your relationship like off the court?
It wasn't what you saw on the court.
Michael Jordan cheated Scottie Pippen. The next story, on the other hand, is a true masterpiece. Jordan was frequently the first player to arrive in the arena on game day, eager to get some shots in. During his time on the court, the arena entertainment staff was also going over the night's schedule. One of the Bulls' game break entertainment games was a race of 3 animated bulls flying through the air, in which an arena contestant could win prizes by betting on the winning bull. Jordan would match the race on the Jumbotron in the morning, and then, during the actual game break display of the race, offer Scottie Pippen to bet on the races. The best part is that Jordan did it all season. Pippen never found out.
I think what this guy's doing is fulfilling a lifelong dream. He's the greatest basketball player in the history of the game.
He also cheated at Yahtzee as a baron. Downtime on the Jordan Cruiser included some heated games of Yahtzee with teammates and manager Terry Francona. Francona told ESPN that they used to play Yahtzee on every bus trip, and even though Jordan was amongst the wealthiest sportsmen in the country at the time, he would cheat just because he couldn't stand losing. At the time, the Barons were managed by future World Series champion Terry Francona, and players of the Southern League Club were paid $850 per month with a $16 meal allowance on road trips. Riding the bus and struggling to hit curveballs was a big change for Jordan, who had just won his third of 6 NBA titles. Jordan hit 202, 289, 266 in his brief career with the Barons, which ended with the baseball strike in March 1995 with 3 home runs, 51 RBIs, and 30 stolen bases.
I just felt that it was unfair that I was being considered a criminal for doing something that is not illegal. Gambling is legal and betting is legal.
A bigger issue. Without a doubt, Jordan was one of the most competitive players ever to play in the NBA. We all know how serious Kobe Bryant got when it came to the game. Jordan was all that and a lot more. He lived to dominate in anything he did. Throughout his playing career, Jordan enjoyed gambling with his teammates. He mostly bet on the golf course and during card games while the team was traveling. Jordan gambled a lot of money on golf and card games because he was wealthy and took the competition seriously. If a teammate was defeated by his airness, the Chicago Bulls star expected to be compensated right away. Jordan once beat a Bulls player in a card game and won $17,000, but the player he beat didn't have the money. Not only was MJ enraged, but he also made his teammate call his father to get the money. Jordan repeatedly stated in the 1990s that he did not have a gambling problem. He did, however, admit that he was cursed in terms of competitiveness because he always had to win.
Jordan's rock, paper, scissors escapades could sometimes reach next-level tiers of insanity. Williams saying at times Michael Jordan would play $100,000 games of rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. In a Brilliant Idiots podcast appearance in 2015, Jay Williams discussed the economics of being a young NBA star in gambling culture. Among other things, Williams mentioned teammates who had wagers against Jordan. Michael Jordan always had bets with his teammates on anything they could bet on. This type of gambling, according to Williams, is part of the NBA experience. He went on to say that if another player found himself in a $100,000 hole, Jordan might say something like, "Yo, bet it back. Rock, paper, scissors for $100,000.
Is the story correct that when you're on the Dream Team, you beat Michael Jordan in ping pong?
Yes, Dan. We've gone over this plenty of times.
I just want to make sure that it's a whole new audience here.
A ping pong pro. Another story has Jordan, during the Dream Team run, taking on Christian Laettner, the only collegiate player on that squad, who excelled on the ping pong table, much to Jordan's chagrin. Michael is sweating like a fourth quarter free throw line sweat while playing ping pong. Laettner beat him for some reason, basketball photographer Nat Butler explained. Jordan then threw the paddle and left. He didn't speak to anyone for 2 days. It later turned out he had a ping pong table delivered to his room. Nobody was aware of it, and he was getting ready for the rematch. They rematched 2 days later, then 3 days later, and it was approximately 21-4. Jordan completely destroyed him.
Like, end of the season for us, end of the season for them. I get a call from Michael. Meet me at Sunset Ridge. Early, we're going to go play 18 holes. We didn't have a game. We actually had a day off. So I meet him at Sunset Ridge.
40-plus points to beat the Cavs. Former NHL star Jeremy Roenick went on radio station 670 The Score in November 2019 and told a story about playing golf with Jordan just hours before the Bulls faced the Cleveland Cavaliers in a late-season game. Jordan suggested that they play another round after they had completed 18 holes. According to Roenick, they filled a bag with cans of beer and ice and played another 18 holes, with Roenick winning both rounds and thousands of dollars from our dear Jordan. We'd been drinking all day. He was now on his way from Sunset Ridge to the stadium to play a game. Roenick said he joked that he was going to call his bookie and would bet all the money Jordan had lost earlier on the Cavs that night. Jordan went on to bet that the Bulls would win by 20 points and he'd have more than 40. Jordan won that bet. He went on to score over 40 points and the Bulls won by 26 points after 36 holes of golf and several Bud Lights. Roenick's story contains some inconsistencies, such as when he stated that they had been drinking Coors Light rather than Bud Lights. And while Jordan had multiple 50-point games against the Cavaliers during during his career, none of them came in games won by Jordan by more than 20 points. Roenick believed this event occurred in 1992 or 1993. So by process of elimination, he was most likely referring to the March 28, 1992 game between the Bulls and Cavaliers, in which Jordan scored 44 points in Chicago's 24-point victory.
I think the word retire means you can do anything you want from this day on. So if I desire to come back and play again, maybe that's what I want to do. Maybe that's the challenge that I may need someday down the road.
36 hours of card playing in a row. This one was told by Antoine Walker, a famous basketball player who played with Jordan and was friends with him in the 1990s. Walker told CBS about how he and Jordan once played spades with two guys. According to Walker, the game lasted up to 36 hours. The stakes were enormous, with a minimum of $20,000 on the line. Jordan allegedly canceled an NBA press conference where he was supposed to announce his triumphant return to the Chicago Bulls because the game dragged on so long and the stakes were so high. The amount Jordan and Walker were losing reached $900,000 at one point, but the basketball players were then able to win back everything except the last $20,000. Jordan then demanded that the game be continued because he didn't want to lose the $20,000. They eventually lost $180,000 because Jordan was too tired and fell asleep at the table. But even as he lost hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time, Jordan was focused on one thing, the one thing that drove his career, personal life, and identity. Whatever the stakes, whatever the setting, whatever the game, it was always about winning. Michael Jordan's life and career are full of stories that can be hard to believe. The intense pathologic competitiveness, the ability to transcend what appears humanly possible through sheer force of will, the borderline meanness that fueled it, and the love of making bets, lending credence to some of his more outlandish off-court stories. That's a wrap with stories from his friends and foes that exemplify the savagery that makes him even more of a legend than his highlight reels, and shows us how Michael Jordan cheated during games, even if it was just Jumbotron bull racing.